we also want to welcome now Francis Ben Kaifala from Sierra Leone, the Commissioner of the Anti-Corruption Commission of Sierra Leone, for his own 5 minutes presentation, as we're hoping for him to do more justice to the topic. Francis Ben Kaifala from Sierra Leone.
Thank you. I'm having a little difficulty with the video, but you can hear me clearly, not so?
Yeah, absolutely.
I bring you all greetings from the Republic of Sierra Leone, and I'm very happy. I have been following the conversation since yesterday about leadership in business, particularly post-COVID. I am one of those who believes that we are going to have to live with COVID a little more than we had envisaged. It's going to be around. It's going to be part of us for a while. And therefore, we have to plan ourselves, not just talking about post-COVID, but even how to live with COVID. Because if we don't have vaccines up to now, means our ecosystem is going to have to deal with this for a while. Therefore, in that regard, when it comes to business, I believe that like running normal governments, doing things, leadership is key in business. I would like to see businesses that are run, that are led, not just run. Because when businesses are led, you take into consideration a lot more factors. When they are run, there's a little bit more focus on competition, on what you do. But when it's led, you bring into factor leadership, your interrelations and interplay with others, how you bring others along. It also includes mentorship. And of course, it tries to take you to the next generation. Therefore, as we are discussing this topic, I would like to specifically look at we are focusing a lot on the skills aspect of things. We are focusing a lot about the behavioral aspect, the traits, the abilities, and the contextual aspects of it. I would like to more look at the spiritual aspect of it. And when I say spiritual, I don't mean religious or just human aspect of it, but how leaders take themselves to the next level by ensuring that they have control of themselves. I heard somebody talk about leadership for others, leadership of self and leadership of others, and doing business for others as well. How do you do business for it to be about others? COVID has given all of us the opportunity to stay a lot more at home, to focus a lot more on the things that are closer to us, to be able to recalibrate the things that we can live without and the things that we can live with. Therefore, we have to discover ourselves as we are preparing for post-COVID. What is really the kind of business that Africa needs, for example? What is the kind of business that the environment that I live in needs? Somebody usually says that entrepreneurship is about providing solutions using business for the good of the world. This is a time for us to recalibrate, so we don't just go into business for business sake. You do not just do business because others are doing it, because somebody else's profit margin is high in that regard, but you do things that are good. So this is the time for us to discover ourselves. This is the time for us to take time to think. Businesses that are led, not run, encompasses thinking. So you bring thinking aboard as you do what you have to do to change. We have to also do business with vision. Business that takes us to the next level. The keynote speaker, for example, was asking us, where do we think we are going to see the world at a particular time in the future? It could be immediate, it could be the next 1 month, it could be 6 months, it could be. It is only vision that can help you take that decision now, and you get involved into it, whether or not there is COVID, but more importantly, when there is COVID, for you to launch yourself to the next level. Also, businesses have to rethink their team. They have to rethink the time. They have to rethink their resources. How do we do things? A lot of us are used to going to the office every day, but COVID has made us understand that you don't have to go to the office every day for you to do business. Going to an office involves overhead costs. So even after COVID, are we going to continue crowding in offices? Are we going to continue having to always meet for us to have meaningful contributions to our business, to our leadership life? So all these are all things that COVID is going to teach us to take those decisions. And I think I believe it will be very optimal for us to reassess ourselves so that we can decide what are the things that we can live without. Over traveling, for example, there's a lot of cost involved in traveling. COVID has taught us that you don't have to travel for you to do certain things. Are we going to cut overheads? Are we going to cut example and use that to plow back into business to launch it into the future? We have to focus on the soul of the business to succeed. Business is what drives the world. But most of the people who you know are successful business people, when you take any book on leadership, you also see their names there. And that is because leadership is what takes business to another level. And all of us have learned lessons from COVID. The economic indications are that COVID is going to have a lot more impact than us, than even how some wars have caused on countries, on continents, and on people. This is the time for us to now go down, deep down into the sanctum sanctorum of our beliefs, plunge out with solutions that can help recalibrate how Africa is, how the world is, how we interrelate with each other. Trust me, I never knew how small our world was before COVID. When I first heard about COVID in China, I never knew it was going to reach all over the world in 3 months. I was shocked when by the time the US closed its borders and the UK closed its border and everybody was talking about it, we closed our borders thinking that in fact there is no COVID in Sierra Leone. People were already celebrating, and then bam, it started jumping. And these are all things that are now going to shift our mindset to guide us as we plan ourselves to be leaders and to be businessmen. I thank you all, and we can take the conversation further. Thank you very much, Alaji. That's my opening statement.
All right. Thank you very much, Francis Ben Kaifala, for that wonderful opening statement with regards to the topic of discussion tonight.